Hello and welcome to In Conversation. It's a video series where I talk to various music producers about their music making concepts, studio techniques, as well as the lifestyle that goes with it. This time we have DJ F.E.X, an experienced DJ producer from Paris who has been working in music since mid-90s and had his music released on many respectable labels all over the world, including his own Robotronic Records. Hello, Mr. F.E.X. Welcome to our In Conversation series of videos. You are guest today. Thank you. How are you doing?
Hello, Harris. I'm very good. I'm in Alicante, and today normally every day it's sunny, and today it's a bit gray. But
okay,
I hope you will find some sunshine.
Yeah, for sure. But you know, for us, it doesn't matter if it's sunny or cloudy when you're making music, right? You're making music most of the time, so it's okay. Yeah. So I've been following your work for a very long time, but we never really spoke on video call or on the phone. I remember that we've been in touch through email for maybe some time, sending each other some music. Yeah. But I'm very happy that we're gonna have this conversation today.
I'm happy too.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been following your production also and your label, Laos Music. So
fantastic!
I think we have something in common.
Fantastic! Thank you very much. Yeah, I believe so. Tell me, how did you get into music? I know it's a cliche question, but let's get it over with. How did you fall in love with the electronic sound then?
So electronic sound. I started listening the tapes from my uncle. He was living in Detroit in the 90s, and when he was coming back to France, he gave me his work phone with headphones and tapes. So going to high school, I was listening house music. And then naturally, when I start going to the club, when I was 16, 18, I always was behind the DJ, and I was how to say I don't know how to say in English, but I was putting the DJ nervous because I was always asking him to put underground music when he was playing commercial music. I started really painful for the DJ.
Sure. So he was living in Detroit at the time.
He was living. He was in the university called Ypsilanti, and it's not perfectly in Detroit. It was a suburb of Detroit.
Yeah. But close enough to techno.
Yeah.
Yeah.
House. At this time, house techno was the same, was together. So
yeah, there was no division. So
it was really interesting to hear these tracks, and now in my programmation, and I still influenced by this house and techno music from Detroit.
Sure.
I guess he gave me the basics of what I love about electronic music, but I don't have limit with electronic music. What I like is something that excites me, something with a groove, and something that's not really heavy. I like to have something spacey or something. I don't have something particular, but I like something quality, something easy to listen, but not easy with the word, because we can understand easy from the wrong side. When I say easy, it means minimal.
Okay. So excuse me. So the music that doesn't have too much in there, that is not like crammed, that has space, is breathing. You mean?
Yeah, more and more. I guess I'm specialist of electronic music because when I listen my vinyl record collection.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I can find now some tracks, some B-sides, some other tracks that I didn't know I had. And when I listen, I can see that my ear, my influence has changed a bit about music, because some tracks I still like, but I realize that I'm more excited about interesting music. One type of music really simple.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, some groove with not many stuff, and this is what I love about music. Something really simple.
Yeah, we were talking about the space in the track. I think it's really important, to have the space in the track, because obviously most of these club tracks are not made just. I mean, they are, but in for you to listen to them, obviously, as they are, but they're also made to fit into another track, to work well in the mix. So if the track is really dense, it's not going to be easy to mix it. And I think it's also, when you have a space in production, it sounds better on the sound system. I know people that me too. I like to sometimes to layer bass lines and have 2 or 3 bass sounds, going into one another, and that's that can sound good sometimes. But once you go overboard with this, you can get all sorts of problems, right?
Mm. Yeah, I definitely agree with you. The thing is about music, it's personal. I mean, I can't judge any music for anyone, but I know exactly what I like, and I'm sure about to be enough open mind to listen different type of style of music. But the most thing is interesting, it's when it's pure. I like something not really heavy. I like it when it's simple.
Okay. Yeah, I see. But makes sense. Definitely makes sense. Because they say the best music, it's well, like you said, it's for lots of people it's different, because they have different sense of aesthetics. But mostly, for me anyway, I can speak for myself. Then it's when you have some simple elements that work well together, kind of they make complexity, because it's like many simple elements. When you put them together, you do get a certain level of complexity, and I think that's kind of the good way to look at production, rather than rather than just put stuff in, and it just because. I urge anyone to try this, to have to take a sampler and to put like one clap sound or one snare sound in there, and then put another clap on top, and then another clap, and then another clap, and another clap, and not very is not much time will pass. You'll just realize that the sounds are being lost. So so once you cross that line. The sounds start, being inaudible. So what's the point of sound being in the track if you can't hear it? That's kind of the point.
And it's now what's happening when I try to finish a track. I try to take off stuff from the track to keep it the most with the minimum elements. How to say, most of the time it's difficult to take off something, but when you forget, you mute channel and you realize that you don't need it, you can really take it off, because less you have channels on your mixer, and the more the track will be stronger, I guess. But this is my point of view. So the most important is the result. The result must be what you like, and this is the most important in the production.
Yeah, but what I was taught, from people that I was working with, and obviously, proper education, is that less elements you have, bigger you can make them.
Exactly.
You know, because just remember, you know, when you play just a simple kick drum in the club, you know, on the sound system, it just sounds huge, enormous, and the moment you start adding things, you know, the kick starts taking a backseat, you know. And how do you fix that problem of kick being heard in the mix? You know, when you have but is it
there is sidechain is really important. The kick must be in electronic music. It's really important. I remember when I had a class in a SEA school, electronic music was not so famous.
Okay.
So I had a teacher that he was so funny. He was saying, the guys in electronic music, when they play drums, they put a kick that strong that you can imagine he has a foot like this, big like this, enormous.
Like a Yeti.
And, and it made me so laugh. It was so funny. Okay. But he was not wrong. Sometimes in electronic music we put kick how to say the kick is too much.
Yeah.
It's good to have the right sound of the kick with the frequencies.
Yeah.
Not too loud, not too high. The perfect medium, low, medium, well compressed, and of course he has to be in front, but not so much.
Okay.
The most important is to hear the track in every headphone, sound system, bad ghetto blaster. This is a good mix of a kick in a track.
Yeah, for sure. But obviously the track is not just about the kick, you know. The people forget that, you know. They think about the kick too much, and actually the drum section, you know. So you have the drum section and it goes, and it's okay, it's nice and interesting and everything. But for me, I don't have my threshold is not so high when it comes to repetition. You know, I cannot listen to something that is just like completely repetitive, if you know what I mean. Just like a loop, just on a loop, and just it goes. For me, I need to have every 20, 30 seconds, 15 seconds, whatever. If it's a track, I mean, if it's like a minimal techno track, then okay, I can say okay, that's that aesthetic, and I'll follow it. But you know, for my own taste, I like to have things happening, you know, the whole track doesn't need to change, you know, but I like to have something that actually interrupts the pattern. They call it pattern interrupt, don't they? Is it in marketing? I think it's a marketing term. Pattern interrupt to keep people listening, to keep people watching, because people will, especially nowadays, they will wander off. You know, if you have something that it's even slightly boring, you know, on the internet, it's so easy to go to the next track. In the club, it's a different story. How do you overcome this problem? You know, to have to break up the track, so to make it interesting. How do you make the track interesting but still keep it minimal? You know, still keep it. Groovy.
This is a secret of the good producers. It's to with less elements you can make it changing, but someone not used about techno electronic music is going to say nothing is changing, but a lot is changing, because you're going to hear the filter working on the hi-hat or some on the loop on the synths that make it groovy, but it's going to change, but like not with exactly with the sound coming and going out, or no, we can make a minimal track but with 15 or 20 channels, and you're going every kind of little things can bring something different every 10, 15 or 20 seconds. But your ear is going to begin to start to listen to this if you listen to the track 2, 3 or 4 times. The first time you're going to think, oh no, it's not changing a lot, but it is. This is for me, this is a secret of great production. It's to make it strong when it's together and changing. But for me, there is not a lot of. There is a big rule. There is no limit about production. You can make it changing. You can make it when you have a great groove. This is most important.
Yeah.
When I started making music, I always start with a groove. I'm not starting with a melody.
Yeah.
Because I'm into more groove than melody.
Yeah, sure.
Otherwise, I will be like someone like David Guetta who is looking for about melody.
Yeah. He's all about melody.
I'm about something I can feel it. I can make me dance. I'm into rhythm, rhythm and groove.
Yeah, sure.
And then if the melody fit the groove, well done.
Yeah, but you know, I've been really recently, for the last maybe year or so, researching a lot of these new melodic styles. They call it melodic techno and melodic house. But for me, really everything is melodic. Even bassline. Your bassline is a melody. And also you can have one note melody. Listen to one note samba by Carlo Antonio or just by Jobim. It's basically it's just one note, and it's a melody, but it just depends what kind of melody it is. Is it really cheesy melody that appeals to a really wide audience? People who are maybe not music connoisseurs, but they like to dance and listen to music, or you're kind of like a little bit more serious and making like really cool compositions, built around dance rhythms, around drum machines, So there are, for me there are melodies and there are melodies, so that's kind of the way I look at it. And
just one yesterday night I was listening to Danny Tenaglia 60 years birthday.
Oh yeah.
All the DJs. So I was listening to DJ Vibe, to also Tenaglia mixes, and sometimes they put some rhythm, and in the rhythm you can hear like a melody, and you can say what this track, because I was completely crazy about just the rhythm that give you everything, melody, and you don't need anything. Just the rhythm make everything.
Yeah, for sure.
And this is what I love the most.
No, but another thing I wanted to add is, you know how when you're DJing in the club, the time goes faster. I mean, for me anyway, there's a lot of things happening, and you're kind of looking at the people, you're looking at the music, you're kind of like, you're in it, the energy is going, it's loud, and it's all happening, and somehow, if you have a track that it's a little bit more minimal and a little bit more around the groove for a longer period of time, that usually works better in the club.
Yeah.
So for in that aspect also, the arrangement doesn't have to be kind of. When I talk about changes, I don't talk about like kind of future bass or stuff like this that changes all the time, but rather a certain amount of change that it's applicable. But on another note, melodies is good as obviously. As only as good as the sound it's using, in electronic music. So if you have, really simple melody, but you have this like really awesome sound, it's gonna work. It's gonna work. How do you make your sounds? How do you make synth sounds? And do you use synthesizers? Tell me about your equipment and stuff.
Yeah, now I can show you.
Yeah, if you want. Yeah, go on.
Okay. Now I just bought this Electron
cool.
Last year. This keyboard is my first keyboard ever. I bought it in the 90s. I still have it. Yeah. But it has everything that I need, and I had a Moog, but I sold it because.
Oh no!
Because like I told you, I had a big studio in Paris, and when we decided to move to Spain, I sold the half of my collection of the vinyls, and also the half of my studio. So I came here a bit later.
Yeah.
And but for me, the equipment is not the most important. The most important is what I want to do with my ears, and with the plugins or with the sounds. I can put a sound with this electron, sample it, and change the frequencies, and to find something really unique. To make it my own way. And this is the most important. Then I start with the rhythm, and we talked about the melody. The melody is really important in the music. What kind of music? All the hits in the techno has a melody.
Oh yeah, exactly.
So we need to have a melody, but it's better to have a melody with a good track than a good melody with a bad track.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
We're not going to change the world. We know that marketing music, commercial music has melody really ugly, but it's working because they have a lot of
sales.
But we know that we don't like this kind of music. Exactly. We prefer melody that's more natural, that's going to come with a super track. And this, if the melody fits the super track, for us, it's what we dream about it. We love about it. But the most important for me now, I'm 47 years. I made music quite all my life. Now it's not my unique job because I have a restaurant. I was doing a lot of other stuff, but I still love music. And like you can see, I just bought this Tascam mixer. You can see it here.
Nice.
For me, it's really important. I can feel a good mixing with a good mixer, because just before I told you about the synth, about the samplers, about everything. This is less important. The most important for me, it's the quality of the sound.
Yeah.
This is my idea of making music, and then the source of the sounds. It could be from anywhere. It could be from my mic, recording outside, recording my wife, my son, or this noise I'm going to do. It could be anything that I can put in a sampler and mix it and change it and then. But the most important, and this is what I say to a lot of young guys here in Spain, I meet, because sometimes I do some parties and they ask me how I make some music, and you can speak about music like we do now. I tell them, you can be lost in a studio, big studio, looking for what you sound. The most important is to step back and wait and think, what do you want to do? What kind of music you want to do? Because if you start a track without a direction or without any idea, you're going to be going around, finding different ideas. But this is what I think. Sometimes I love to just open a session and looking for some sounds. But my principal idea is still here, because this is the main direction to go fast. Because faster you do a track, faster is going to be close to the first idea, the main idea you had. This is what I think.
Yeah, I see.
Of course. This is what's working for me.
But you know what? This is why it's important for people, if they want to make music, to really listen to that music that they want to make. Like a lot of people think that they can make music just from their head, but it's not. It's not true. Maybe some good ideas will come like that, but really the foundation will come from what we're listening to, and also the brain, because brain is like a hard drive. It stores stuff, of course. So when if you hear this track, that track, it all goes into your head, and it's all there. And it's people, especially nowadays, when everybody, all these social networks are basically saying you have to post 100 times a day, and all the time you have to be on social networks, push. But that doesn't really leave you much time to really kind of, because I think as an artist, as a producer, you kind of need to cut yourself off. you know, and have your own space and switch off all the social networks, everything, you know, and just like really focus on your music.
Exactly.
How do you get away? How do you get around that problem? How do you find time for making music?
It's really a good question. You know, when my son was born, I was working in Paris in a company of making websites and applications and everything. So it was a work difficult and really intense. And when I had to come home, I had to take care of my son. So I didn't have a lot of time to making music, but I felt I need to make music. So I was like reserving some hours in a Sunday or day off to make music. So when you have only 4 hours to make music, and you know you only have 4 hours you can't go and say, all right, so let's see what happened. No, you have to prepare. I was preparing like, okay, I want to do something similar, influenced by this track or this rhythm, this melody or this to go somewhere, because otherwise, and it's like this. I start to be really how to say efficace.
Efficient.
Efficient.
In Croatia, you say efficasan.
To do a track.
Close.
Before, I needed to 1 week to do a track.
Yeah.
Or 2 days. Now I can do a track in 4 hours or 1 day.
That's brilliant.
For sure, I need more time to perform it, to clean it, to make it more pure. But the ideas, the tracks, the arrangements, everything now, it's quite in the same time, because I don't lose time when I have the groove, I have everything complete. I go straight away and I try to finish it straight away. Like this, the idea it's not lost.
Yeah.
And the faster I do it, the most happy I'm.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, of course. And probably more authentic is the track than
exactly.
you fiddling with it for 7 days, you know, when you catch that moment. Because this is one thing that I always thought, is that our moods and our perception, everything changes from day to day. You know,
every day you wake up and you change your mood, you change your idea, you listen to the track of yesterday, and you're going to say, oh, maybe
I can change,
and then you can start to change it, and it's lost.
How I found that the hard way, because I had studio in London for in few different places, and I also worked, if you remember, for Swag Studio. I've been there for 2 years, 2.5 years. I was maybe even 3 years. I was in-house engineer, in-house producer, everything. I was doing like most things there, and I remember people when I worked with many different people in that period that would come, because obviously the process was different. You couldn't do it at home. You had to go to the proper studio that has proper listening facilities, samplers, analog synths, all that kind of stuff, and you would have people come in and really with ideas, and okay, let's do this. Put all the elements into the track, arrange it, mix it, sometimes in a day, sometimes in 2 days, but that would be it. And then they would go away, and I knew that they will call me in 1 or 2 days. Well, I'm not sure about this, but it's because, when they were in the studio, the track was awesome. It's great. It's fantastic. Love it. Oh my God, it's the best thing I have ever done. And then they take it away. They sleep on it for 2 days. And I don't like it anymore. Maybe you can change it for me.
Already it's complicated when you make music with someone, because it's like two brains thinking in two way different. So it's quite difficult to find this complicity with someone. But when you have it, the faster you do it, better it, because otherwise it's 2 times more complicated.
No. I completely agree with you. Then we touched onto something, how the music was made before and how it's made today. You know, obviously you had the big studio in Paris as well with all the gear and everything, you know, and I did too, you know. I had first I worked in studios that had a lot of equipment, and then I, you know, had my own place that had a fair amount of, I mean, I had, you know, probably more equipment than I have today, you know. But how do you think that it's easier today to make music? Actually, let me rephrase the question. Do you think it's easier to make music today because of the technology? The technology changed.
Yeah, I think so. I think so because if I remember when I start music, I start with how do we say, the application the computer Atari.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I start with this with my homemade from the back in the days. He's a hip hop DJ, so he was used to this kind of stuff, Atari, and then we start a studio with two samplers, S2000.
Okay, yeah.
And a big Mackie 24. And we had nothing about one multi FX, and that's it. We didn't have a lot. And we had this with keyboards, Yamaha, and we start to make the first vinyls with quite nothing, but it's still sounding very good because we had the speakers NS10
Yamahas, yeah.
So it gives you sound really, really basic, but it was perfect because we are recording his in his living room, not strong, and everything was perfect. But now it's more easy because with the technology, with the controllers, with the only thing is now it's good to know that what you can use. I mean, I'm not about. I never advise people or the young DJs or young producers to buy a lot of machines. It's better to buy less and to use it more because more you have machine, more you are lost. For me, huh? The music production is not about how much you have machine. It's more about your ideas and how you use it. And I know very good producers using only an iMac. And
well, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. You know, people are when you look at some of these producers. I'm not going to name any names, but you know, if you know, there are people that are, you know, they have hundreds of thousands of followers on social networks, and you know, the music is everywhere. And you kind of, you know, you check out some of their videos of them making music or, you know, or something like this, and basically it's just them with the controller and the computer. You know, I remember when the studio videos or studio photos were about, you know, being in the, you know, space with the big mixer and all the outboard, and you know, and now it's like a guy in front of the computer with the mouse. So that's how it changed. But you know,
I try to charge my mobile.
No worries. So, but basically, like you said, like whatever idea you have, if you have manifest the idea, you know, it doesn't really matter what equipment you're using, as long as you get the result. And I think nowadays with equipment, you know, you can get a really good result, but just by mixing in the box. And I remember like 15-20 years ago that wasn't the case. You know, the sound from the box was still a bit crunchy and still was, you know, not very well defined. But now,
sometimes this can make the charming sound when it's not so clean and when it's cracking. You know.
Yeah.
So sometimes now we are looking a bit to be back to something more analog, but all the producers know that this is most important. It's when you do a school of engineer like SEA, we learn how to take sound from a band. You know how to use a mixer. You know how to. This is really important when you want to have a normal quality, natural sound.
Yeah.
When you make music just with a Ableton without the sound card or so, without, it's too much perfect. The sound sounds metallic. It's not sounding warm. So it's important to make it a little bit warm.
Yeah.
The ear is used to have reverb when we are listening outside in the house, when you're listening music, or when someone is singing.
Mm-hmm.
There is something in the air that make it warm.
Yeah, no, for sure.
This is what the people sometimes forget about it.
But I'm using universal audio interface. I have the Apollo 8P, and I have some of their plugins, UAD plugins, the tape ones. I have the Studer A80 and F.E.X one as well, and that actually does make it kind of rounds off the high frequencies. You know, the little bit kind of makes them a little bit softer, and also it adds the bump. You know, around 200, 300, 400 hertz. You know, it's kind of like a warmth. You know, it gives a little bit of warmth. So I think you can, you know, there are ways now that you can get that kind of analog style. It's not 100% analog. It's maybe it's analog on the input, but everything after that is digital. You know, but still you can get that analog sound with plugins, which is great.
Yeah. For me, it's really important, the sound. You can have the same track if you mix it very good with a good quality mixer, good compressor, good. It can gives a chance to the track to be really high and to be strong, and then a track without any mixing, any. This is really it's like 50% of the success of a track if it is well mixed.
Yeah, no, it is, and it's obviously like you said. You said it the best, I think. You know, when you have the idea and you know kind of what kind of sounds you want, you know, you can get your track done in shortest amount of time. But at this time, I'm sure that you know how many elements you need, you know, for the track, what you need, and I think that's kind of. For a lot of producers, I think that are maybe starting or they haven't got much experience, it's a problem because they think they're not really sure what they need, so they kind of get all of the sounds and try to fit them into the track, and then this is going back to the beginning of our conversation. You know, when you put too much in, it just it becomes really difficult to mix as well. The track becomes really hard to mix, and it's not sounding that punchy. But I don't think that you have that problem at all. You know, quite contrary. You know, I've listened to your tool. Stellar is your new track, right? Stellar.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. I will put the link down in the description so people can listen to it, because obviously for technical issues we can't really play it. Still have to figure it out how to play it properly. But yeah, I've heard it, and it's really well mixed, and it's a great track. I really like it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And you're going to see that there is not a lot of changing, but in the same time there is a lot of changing in the rhythm, there is a melody.
Yeah. So you just have to listen and to
But the melody comes one time in a track in a break, and that's it.
No, for sure. And what kind of sound did you have in mind when you made this? How did you come to it?
The melody, I don't know. It just came like this, but I knew that all the EP. There is 3 tracks, and you're going to find quite the same rhythm between Stellar and the second track of the EP. And I at this moment I was really influenced about dub and everything around about how to say, dub techno, dub style, kind of Maurizio, and I still love this more and more, this kind of electronic music, because the rhythm It can be tribal. It can be, but I don't know. It's what I love, what I like.
No,
I
of
can
course.
describe it.
Of course. And the other track is Alicante as well.
The last one, yes,
yeah.
it's the most housey track.
Mm-hmm.
Also with some pads, which normally I'm not I use too much, but this one is typical house, deep house track that make. I wanted to release it on this EP to make it complete with 2 tracks a bit deep techno.
Sure. I see. And how do you distinguish house from techno? How do you make a difference? Like, because nowadays, everybody's listening to everything because of the internet and stuff.
Yeah.
So
between house and techno,
people, often ask me, "Oh, what is the difference between house and how do you know the track is techno and how do you know the track is house?"
It's difficult to answer really for me because I don't like to make too much difference. But I'm going to say something really personal.
Okay.
House music for me is something between. It's not about the BPM because you can have a techno track. It's the same BPM, but it's how to say? I think the house music is always more easy. How to say? More light about techno, deep techno, dub techno is going to be a bit harder in the not in the sound, but it's difficult to describe. The techno music is always going to be a bit more pure for me than house music. House music is to be more fantasy,
a bit more groovy,
more
funky.
groovy, more funny, more everything. Techno is going to for me. Techno, it's more serious than house music.
Yeah, of course.
Sorry, but when I make it techno, I'm thinking about something more deep, with a sound But I know that in house you can make it also. So I don't want to. I don't want to make anyone upset about what I'm saying.
Of course.
But
of course.
what I mean to I take care about what I say. It's always my opinion, and I know it could be only my opinion. But for me, house music, it goes more for a house club where you're going to have funny tracks, but.
Yeah,
techno, it could be also the same, but this is why sometimes I love more techno because I find it more pure, more without too much effects, without too much breaks. I can make tracks about 6 minutes without any break, and it's just minimal rhythm with a good groove, and there is not fantasy. It's music. Banging, and it could be slow, it could be fast, it could be harder, but it's really stronger. This is a difference about me.
But maybe tech house is the answer there. Tech.
Yeah,
house.
we were in the beginning of the tech house music. You and me, we know exactly what it means. Tech house in the beginning was exactly the common component between house and techno. We called it deep tech. Deep tech was
nowadays
tech house.
You mean nowadays? Nowadays called deep tech.
Yeah.
Today. Yeah.
I don't know if now today they call it like this.
When I listen to when I go through the listings, on Beatport and whatever, I hear a lot of tech house tracks that were done in the old way listed under deep tech. They're not listed under. Not a lot is listed under tech house, and tech house is more like nowadays. Tech house is more classified as some kind of a hard, funky, progressive sound.
Yeah,
if you know what I mean. That's kind of tech house nowadays, which is so far away from the original idea of tech house.
Exactly. Exactly. For me, tech house in the beginning was exactly what I love to play still today, and I still play some tech house tracks from the 2000 between 96 and 2002.
Yeah, that was the best time for it.
Yeah, and because there is a strong rhythm with a super bass line, and there is not so much fantasy in the track.
Yeah,
we could put some effects and blah blah, but it was not so funny. It was really groovy and still what I'm looking about music now. It's something pure.
Cool.
What we lost with the sound with the name Tech House, the track Tech House now, it's not sounding like in the beginning.
No, for sure. But the point is of music to evolve, and to go into a certain direction. But I feel that tech house was in a way hijacked. It was kind of it was just forcefully changed somehow. And because you remember at some point, I think this was now we're talking maybe 10 years ago or something like that, maybe 8 or 10 years ago. A lot of really commercial tech house music that under the name of tech house started coming out, and it kind of like pushed onto the side all the underground tech house sound. So, but I still think there's a lot of space for this to be done. To kind of fuse techno and house, because like techno sometimes can be too heady and too kind of too weird in a way for maybe for a lot of people. I don't know. And house can be sometimes too, like you said, you used the good word funny. It can be too kind of naive and kind of just too cheesy, So I think there is a way to put elements from both worlds and, put them into something that it's kind of, sounds good and it's classy and it works on the dance floor and it's music with taste rather than.
Yeah, it's just about for me to find the elegant way to how to produce music. If you want to do house music or even tech house music or techno music, for me, I prefer to have something elegant than commercial. This is my point of view. I'm not interested about anything other than groove and in something that make me dance with something pure. I'm not. I don't care about the rules. I don't care about the limits. I can listen everything. Also, for me, hard techno, it's difficult for me when it sounds more noisy than groovy. Mm-hmm. So, and house, if it's too cheesy, too noisy, even I can't stand listening this. I run away.
Same. You know what they say? That we align with other people through the music. The people that are kind of that are similar to us, that have similar taste and they're similar, obviously. So I think it's an identifier, of what kind of person one is. This is why they say, you like that kind of music, and they straight away they put you into a box. You like really heavy metal music. You're long haired. I don't know, alcoholic. Something like this. So that's the kind of blessing and the curse, I guess.
I'm an alcoholic and I'm a druggie about really good music.
Great, amazing. Really happy that we had this chat. Time is running out, and I hope the people will find it useful and interesting.
One thing I wanted to say before about the music, when we about producing or listening, the thing that makes the track good, and when you put the volume up. If you put it down, means it's not good. If you put it up, means it's really good.
Okay, cool. So if you can listen to it loud, you mean it's good?
Yeah, louder. Yeah.
Okay, I like that. Definitely. So you need some big speakers and some friendly neighbors. Oh, neighbors that are deaf or not at home or something like that.
Yeah. Neighbors, obviously, we need to do something with the neighbors.
Yeah.
Invite them to party, maybe.
Yeah. We can try. We can try for sure. Cool.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you for your time and
thank you, Harris.
the good words.
Let's keep in touch and
Definitely.
And voila. And I hope we will be mixing and partying together soon.
Sure. I hope when everything clears up, when we are we have the new era, when we have the new time now coming.
Yeah. And you have a friend in Alicante in Spain. That's when you can fly from here to here. You can pass and visit us.
Oh, same. You should do the same and come to Dubrovnik.
All right.
Game of Thrones town.
Yeah, great. I would love.
All right. Nice. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Ciao.